Seahorses are impressively emancipated animals. The males carry the fertilized eggs inside them until birth. I guess that's what we can call a role model for fair share of care work in relations, can't we? But today, although they are sweet, today I want to talk about another hippocampus, about another seahorse creature. I'm more interested in a region in our brain that got its name from the similarity to seahorses. This region is called the hippocampus. It is part of the limbic system, and its shape looks a little bit like seahorses, and so the whole story came to this name. The fitness of the hippocampus in our brain is key for several important factors regarding mental performance. For example, the hippocampus has a strong impact on mental flexibility, and therefore it, of course, influences our creativity. Or it plays an important role for being able to process experiences, for emotion regulation, for emotion processing, even for emotion control. I guess we will agree that these are key factors for an optimal mental performance instead of being eaten by the hassles of everyday's work life. The hippocampus also is responsible for moderate stress response, the processing of stress and stress resilience. It even has a major role at forming and recalling memories. So I think it is only fair to say that all these factors influence our mental performance in one or the other way, and we have a high interest in maintaining a strong and well-working hippocampus. This gives us the power and enables us to stay in the driver's seat rather than being overwhelmed by emotions, for example, or then being weakened by a low stress resilience or being stuck without mental flexibility. And here comes the interesting fact. The fitness and the power of our hippocampus can be improved by neurogenesis. Like growing muscles through exercise, this means that we can build up to 700 new neurons in the hippocampus every single day. This is a remarkable ability of the hippocampus, as it is the only region in the human brain that can build new neurons after having reached adulthood. So the essential question is now, what promotes neurogenesis in the hippocampus? What makes the hippocampus fit? And here I want to quote Professor Felice Checker from the Food and Mood Center at the Deakin University in Melbourne. It's in Australia, and her team is doing heavy research on these questions since several years now. What did they find out? If we want to improve the fitness and the strength of the hippocampus, here are the best ways to do it. Any kind of exercise or sports. Plant-based diet. I find this easy as a vegan living person. Then sufficient level of omega-3 fatty acids, for example, by eating enough seafood or fish. Mediterranean diet. Or also having a handful nuts, a handful seeds, a handful of whole grains every single day. And even cold shock or regular cold showers like in the cold spa can do the job. Very helpful also is fasting or intermediate fasting, for example, dinner cancelling and breakfast cancelling. This is why I do this at least twice a week. So we see mental fitness, mental abilities and performance are closely related to our behavior, everyday behavior, our nutrition and physical factors via the hippocampus. For all of us who want to dive deeper into that, I strongly recommend the second bestseller of Bas Kast, for example. This book is called The Compass for the Soul, which should be available in the English version also soon. There he explains all that in detail. For now, and for me, this has very clear implications for my daily life as a keynote speaker, as a coach and as an entrepreneur. In my company, we serve customers in North America, in Asia, in Europe. I travel a lot and I need to keep my mental fitness, my stress resilience and my emotional energy on a high level. So it's mandatory for me to integrate as many as possible of the above mentioned factors as daily habits in my everyday life, no matter where and when I work for our customers. For me, it has proven very helpful not to only track my time and my projects, what most of us do, but also my healthy habits to keep my hippocampus in an optimal shape. And here, a lean and concise way of time tracking Time boxing and scheduling is key. It helps me to stay aware of my time and of the time that I spend on working, but also on travel, on exercising, and even on practicing mental health by creating and monitoring these habits that support my mental fitness through a strong hippocampus. So I hope I could give you a little insight into these dynamics, and I hope you also see why I favor both seahorses and the hippocampus.